that I have to rotate device back. I always make it like this.
Hang on, guys. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Now we have to keep loading up.
Okay, well, can we set it up like that? All right, good enough.
If it falls, it falls. Okay, hey everybody. That was a little hectic because we were trying to go live from YouTube, TikTok, and the Gals and Ghosts Facebook. So
Yes.
we are live on 3 different platforms, and it always takes us like a few minutes to really.
We're
get
never
started.
very tech savvy.
You're not at all.
Sorry. Well, now you're okay. Hang on. We're gonna figure this out. It's gonna be okay, everybody.
We had the camera started, and then it like, it made me go.
Okay, now we're good, right?
Oh, we gotta be now. We're live. Okay. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Gals and Ghosts. Actually, on the TikTok, you were live from
Life with Kaylee.
Life with Kaylee.
000, but whatever, you know.
We do not have enough followers on the Gals and Ghosts TikTok yet, but y'all can change that by going to the Gals and Ghosts TikTok and making sure you hit that. Is it
The follow.
Yeah, the follow.
Little
and,
plus sign.
Yeah, that one.
She don't know.
Today we're going to be talking about a lot of things, mainly Old Park Hotel Part 3, which is our alone investigation.
Hey, kitty. If you knock over
My
there's a cat, and
No,
he
ma'am.
don't knock over my computer.
No, ma'am. Get down. She's attacking me.
It's a little kitten. Sorry.
Get down.
Hey, Leadon.
This should be really funny because I have one cat that tries to knock over this one and then that one. Oh, I forgot what we were talking about.
Today we're going to be discussing the Bollinger Hotel a little bit more. We've left out a couple of the areas in the hotel that we have yet to discuss that we're getting some questions on. So that's where we're going to go today.
But before we do that, we're going to answer some questions we get asked frequently. Question number 1 is, how long have you been friends? 14 years, right? 14, 15?
When did we meet? How old were you?
I was 14, 15, I'm 30.
Okay, well then that math checks out. That would be 16 years.
Yeah.
It was 16
Yeah,
years.
you're right, 16 years.
Yeah, 16.
So we have known each other for 16 years. People ask how we met. The truth is,
No idea.
I know through who I met her through. I know where we met.
Yeah,
But
I just don't know the details.
I don't know what got us started talking. It could have been anything from Buffy to Sims. I mean, it could have been anything. I don't know what the first conversation between us was.
My mom and her mom worked together, and basically we just, got the chance to hang out. I was my younger, God, I'm 7 years older than you, so.
But we clicked. Like, I didn't get on your nerves. At least
Was
I
I
don't
20,
think I
21?
got. I don't think I got on your nerves.
I'm the youngest child. We had a lot to talk about.
I say, and I was, I was a shy, awkward, just starting to talk to boys phase.
Right.
Like, you really helped me through that.
I still didn't talk to boys.
It was funny because she would give me advice, but like, she was just like, I don't know what I'm talking about. But
Like,
if
I
it works
have
for
one
you,
boyfriend, right? Like,
she's just like, if it works for you, here you go, sweetie.
sorry about all the noise in the background. The kittens are playing now.
Yeah, we're doing it at my house, and I have 2 big kids. They're just so noisy. She's just
Like, they're adorable. It's just that we're not showing them to the people.
Could say if he gets behind you again, you'll see him because he keeps attacking her. But yeah, when it comes to like, we met through our moms.
Yeah, but as far as like why or what, I think we just got put in a room one day, and the rest is history.
And I didn't get on her nerves enough that we stayed friends.
And vice versa, because I am fairly annoying.
Talk about what made you start the show. Okay, so there was like a lapse in time when we didn't get to see each other. I was freshly married. You just got married.
No, I was just doing my thing.
Oh yeah, we lost touch, not out of choice, but just out of like life.
I went to college, and like then I went through a massive depression. I mean, we lost a little bit of touch there.
But then one day, like, I don't know who reached out to who. It could have been either one of us, but she was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing. What are you doing?" And then
It was the hurricane. That's really what split us up. You used to come over to my house and everything
uh,
before the Hurricane Rita.
yeah.
And then Hurricane Rita destroyed my house, and that's when the depression set So,
And then that's when.
and then I couldn't let anybody in because it was in such a state of disrepair. So I think it was really the hurricane
That kind of tore us apart for a little while.
for a little while.
Then,
But you know, I think it does that to everybody, and then you get your senses back and you get
then
back
one
together.
day, one of us reached out and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then we're like, "Hey, let's hang out." And then technically, we didn't start the show together. You started a boondoggles.
Oh yeah, I started a store. I was at a flea market and it did not go very well. Now I have my own business in a different respect.
But it was still fun. I actually worked for her or with her, like
Yeah,
I worked with her for her too.
I'm an easygoing.
And we would just hang out all the time. But then after she decided to let boondoggle, because it wasn't a good spot for it.
Right, it's not the store. It wasn't a good spot for it. But
So when she decided to let it go, we were like, "What can we do? What is your TikTok doing?"
I think it was just telling me to slide over. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it.
So we decided to start the YouTube channel.
Well, it was really just, we both have always been kind of interested in, the spooky side of life, so it just...
That was probably one of the first things we talked about when we met too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, and it's just more of a, hey, let's go do this, and if you want to do this, do you want to film it maybe, like just for us? And we don't really do this to monetize or anything like that. It would be great.
That would be great, but
we do it because we enjoy doing it. We like the idea of getting out with each other, and, I really enjoy history, and I'm a huge skeptic. So, like, I go into it thinking, like, oh, nothing's going to happen. Absolutely nothing is we're going to get no pictures, going to be completely dormant. And
so to the point where she starts to taunt things.
yeah, where I'm like, I'm not going to believe that you're here.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that because it showed us it was there. Like, it.
Yeah.
But, why did you, people asked us why we picked YouTube as our platform instead of, like, taking this to, like, a network or taking it somewhere else.
It's really hard to get approved for a network, and we're not delusional on that,
Well, and YouTube allows us the freedom to kind of like be our own bosses.
Yeah, we'd like to get a real handle on what we want to do with this show before, anything really goes out of control. Because again, we do it for fun. We're not in a way thinking like, oh, we're doing this because we want to get famous at being ghost hunters, It's like, no, we do it because we enjoy doing it. And whether or not we find anything, I'm still in it for the history. I
want to go to places. I want to see.
I want to really dive in.
Like things, I want to know what they did in the 1800s. Like who stood on this spot? What was it like? Like.
Yeah, and I want to hear from the museum people, the people that, or what are they called?
That specialize.
Not concierge. There's a word for a docent, a museum docent.
That might not be right, but if they are.
I think it. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I think that's the right word. But the museum employees, the people that do the tours, I really want to get with them and ask them, how long you worked here? Have you felt anything? Has there been anything weird here that's happened to you? What are your experiences? Because it's not just like the legends. It's what people are seeing nowadays and what they feel. And, we never for sure say, like, something, oh, it's definitely haunted. We just say, this is what we think. And I mean...
we can't explain this, and it scared the bejesus out of us.
Right. And sometimes the things that, like when we were in that one room where the ghost was like, hi, and stuff like that, we don't hear those things when we're in the room.
No.
None of us heard that on camera. So it's like we're not even there that night going, ooh, that was spooky.
No, I wasn't even really, I know the stories they tell, and I was expecting that, and we did hear, like, bells jingling and stuff, but, like, for the most part, most of that haunted footage was found later.
Yeah.
And we went back and we looked and we reviewed and we started piecing together what we were going to show you.
100% of the pictures, the haunted photos that we found, the different orbs, the different faces, things like that, the different shadows, 100% of that was when we went back and reviewed it. None of it did we see with our naked eye. We did not see the little boy's face in the mirror whenever we looked at it. At the mirror, we were just looking at this great room and snapping pictures, and suddenly we go back and review the photos, and there's a little boy's face in the mirror, and it's so crystal clear, like down to his big ears and his haircut. He definitely looks like he was from the night. It's crazy. It's just the haircut and everything of the little boy in the mirror looked time period correct. And the fact that they said there was a little boy ghost, and we didn't even know that when we were snapping those pictures. We had no idea what to look for. We were just walking around trying to feel it out, and really think to ourselves, what is happening here without knowing a lot of the story. That was before we even walked around the pond.
Yeah, so I agree with that statement. A lot of what we catch, we find much later. We don't go in there expecting to catch it.
Absolutely.
But we love it when we do.
Absolutely.
I feel like I should explain this because a lot of people, this is not scripted. This just reminds us of what we need to talk
Right.
about.
We do an outline. Like,
we're
don't
just like-
forget to mention this. People asked about this.
Yeah, because like I'm very forgetful, so if we just went off memory, these things would be about 5 minutes.
It's not a script. It's one page.
It's just like, don't forget to talk about this, which will lead to, will you put yourself on other platforms? If we get offered later, like if
Totally.
yeah.
I mean, we want to maintain control and things like that, and like we love all that
there's
stuff,
a lot
but
of stipulations to it, like.
yeah, we're not into like, we're not saying like, oh yes, sell us out. But like at the same time, like, if you wanted to entertain us with a contract, we would be open to looking at it.
And we would be open, that does not mean we are gonna say yes, because again, our
Right.
biggest thing is, this is how it works.
Well, and we do it on our own time schedule. We do it just for us. We're not looking to be on anything like that. If it happens, great, wonderful. But if
it doesn't,
if
I'm
it just
fine.
continues on YouTube and TikTok and stuff, we're great with that. That's how we want to be. We want to be there for the show that we want to be there for, not,
I don't want it to feel forced at, at some point, like, oh, you have to turn this in, you have to do.
Yes. Well, you see so many YouTubers get burnt out about that. So many creators on this platform, on TikTok. I say this platform. I'm speaking to each different separate camera when I'm saying
YouTube, Facebook,
but,
TikTok.
you see so many people on TikTok even that get burnt out with different, they do this thing for so long and they have millions of followers, but it seems like their viewership goes down and they get really discouraged. And it's like, it's easy to say that that's not going to happen, but it's like, it does happen to everybody, I think, And so I just really don't want to get caught up in the
We have to do this.
yeah.
This is fun.
It's for us. It's for us. And if it happens to become a phenomenon, great.
Yeah, I'm all for it, but I never want it to feel like it's pressure.
I don't want it to feel like it's pressure. It shouldn't be stress. It shouldn't be stress.
No, it's just something we have fun with.
No.
Some people have asked us why the delay on merch. I can sum it up into one word. Panoramic.
The Pandorama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one shirt. She's approved like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I just don't
We
have
have
the-
shirts to be in production.
Yeah, like we want to, and mugs and stuff, but I also need money for that. And right now, economy's tight. Like,
Yeah. And well, we went through a little mini recession. Gas was real expensive and things for a
oh,
while.
and then my husband goes and gets the biggest diesel burning engine he can find, and $150 a tank at one point.
My husband also has a diesel engine, but he then went out and bought a little Toyota Avalon.
Yeah, he was logical about it. We just drive that one diesel truck.
He understands that he cannot drive that diesel truck everywhere. It's good for hurricanes. It's good for, rescuing people that are like flooded in. That's happened. Our neighbors had to borrow that big diesel truck, but we don't drive it very often because it's expensive.
Cody uses it for his mower stuff, and but it's our everyday car too, and that's gonna change fairly soon, because like, I don't like sharing with him.
Well, and also it's like, man, we are using this far too much,
He's like, oh, we're down to $100 in gas a week, and I'm like, that's still a lot of money. That's still.
Oh, hello, kitty. Oh.
Leo's playing with her feet. Okay, so that's gonna conclude the talking about us part. Now we're gonna get into the actual hotel, like part 3. It's Old Park Hotel, part 3. This was our alone investigation, the one we did just me and you. It was
After.
Yeah, it was after we did with Chris and Julie the nighttime stuff, which was a lot of fun, and we've talked about. But now we're gonna get into it's not very long, and we are gonna smash everything together and give you like a whole thing once we're done.
Oh yeah.
But this is part 3, and it's only like, what, 12, 13 minutes?
Maybe a little more. I might.
Underestimating how long
Yeah,
it is.
what is this?
Once the children's room is longer, but this is that little bitty section where we go by ourselves.
Oh, I gotcha.
So, we're gonna talk, now, I say we're gonna talk about that, but we're gonna backtrack just for a second and talk about Jenny's room, because a lot of people said, oh, in your last video, you didn't talk very much about the closet, when I heard the snap. and it told you to get down, and it started saying sword fighter and other one. I don't talk about that one because I don't like that one. Okay, that one wanted me in the closet really, really bad. So like I won't go back in that closet. Even if we go back, I'm not.
You know, the more I think about that room though, because it did seem to attach to you, it did seem to talk to you, it called you a sucker, it, you know, it really was like other
Well,
ones,
and I
like it
got
didn't
rubbed.
want me, I didn't really feel anything, I heard some footsteps,
The only
nothing
thing
really happened,
it
it told me to get
you was
down,
get down.
and I sat down.
But it could have been talking to me because I was standing up.
Oh, true that too.
So like,
But, I mean, that's the thing, is that I really didn't feel anything, but it did seem to speak to you
I
and,
felt stuff.
and deal with you. Now, we have to think about the fact that that was the same room that we heard the whisper, that was like,
that's the next one over.
no, that was the same one with the sucker.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
With
I
the
gotta
closet.
rewatch.
Well, cause remember it was, oh, sorry, buddy, sorry.
We
You
might
should
be wrong.
under
I
my
don't know.
feet.
We have to go back and watch our own crap.
But I'm pretty sure it's that room that did that, because that's where that picture was taken, right across the hallway, and that's where the door slam was that Dan reported.
Well, because you had a closet in a different room that wanted
That
you
was different, that's where the girl said hi.
and hate. Yeah,
No, she didn't say hate in that room,
It
she said hi, yeah.
And then
When I felt like the little wispy stuff by my arm, like
that
she
was the room
saying
that
hi.
I got stupid afraid of a
Right,
closet.
you
Like
couldn't go in that
randomly, I couldn't even go in. I was like, nope, I'm done. I was put back into childhood trauma randomly. Like the thing that popped into my mind was my sister. She's watching my cat.
Sorry, he's playing with my feet and it's adorable. I love kitties.
I went back to my childhood trauma where my sister used to lock me in the closet, although I am the older sibling. But she tortured me. I love you, Jackie. We get along great now, but you tortured the crap out of me when we were kids. She threw candles at
Because
me.
y'all were so close.
Yeah, we were.
Y'all were so
But
close in age.
but I couldn't go into that closet. But then when we went to Jenny's room, I was fine to the point where it wanted me. I wasn't afraid of it. I was just like, "Ah." And then Chris had to do the mwahaha. By the way, never forgive me for that. That made it more scary than it needed to be.
Yeah, but if I remember that hate was in that room, and I think that, and again, we could be wrong, but I think it was that room because,
It's been so long though.
well, we were in that room and it was just like it was when you were like, what do you mean, and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
that hate and all that stuff, and I remember that, and what I honestly think must be, like if I have to explain it logically, would be that, you know, I would
Well,
like
there
to get
were
a
two
better
sisters.
look. I would like to get a better look at the photos from historical, our footage of the historical little museum area, because there were two sisters that apparently used to fight over that room, who got to be in there or whatever, and there was a picture that we had taken in one of our first walk around. We were first walking around before we talked to Connie.
Before we talked to
There was that picture that was right by that hallway that's across from that room, and it looks like almost a lady's face standing there. It's by the red room and everything.
Yeah.
And remember, Dan said he was working in there one day, and then the door slammed happened.
Which
And they always
can't-
thought it was the sisters fighting.
Say we can't go into too much detail because we did catch something like that, but it's in the other episode that we talked about with the children's room. It's the end of the children's
Oh,
room.
right. But
Yeah. It can't-
spoiler alert.
But but yes, that is the same area that Dan had said or Connie told us, because we didn't actually
Right, we didn't get to meet with Dan. We would love to meet with Dan. Next time, we would love to meet with Dan. We are very excited to hear what he's got to say and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
she
Connie
was
had told us
telling
that Dan had been sitting in that room and that he had heard a door slam. Like he heard other things before that, and then suddenly a door slammed out of nowhere. And he, you know, but that's that same spot right there by that hallway by
the chairs.
Yeah, by the red chairs. Yeah, right before that.
The one that
split
Chris
comes
said,
out.
if you sit there and you just listen, the hotel talks.
Right. Yeah. Right. That exact same spot.
I
And
love it.
and so that's I believe it was that room that we captured the hate whisper, which it could have been hate or anything like that, but it sounded like hate.
Well,
it was
and
a really
at
loud
first I
whisper.
thought it was you.
It's
When,
not.
but
I
it
would not
wasn't.
mess with you
No.
like that.
And then I came to a conclusion that nobody, like Chris would have been like, Kaylee, did you just say something? Or
Right, there
you
were
would have been like,
multiple
you
people
would have
in there.
laughed, if it had been you would have
I
laughed.
would have claimed it. I would have been like, yeah, that was totally me.
Because
But
you
it's
claimed
not.
the
We don't
bed.
do that. Well, right. I totally.
And the bed wasn't, honestly, we're going to talk about that for a few more minutes. Oh, there you go. We're going to talk about that. He's right behind us. We're going to talk about that for a few more minutes. Her being, I say, not really pulled, but more like
Tossed.
Lift
Like
it,
tossed,
Right.
like a rag doll. I thought I fell because I'm so used to falling.
But the way when I watch the video and I see where your legs were, and I see, like, I even asked you, do you move like that in your sleep? And you're like,
I
no.
slept on that end of the bed,
All night after
like
that.
that, with my face at that end of the bed all night after that,
And nothing happened.
and nothing happened.
Well, at least nothing
well,
that we're aware of, because we didn't have a camera
I
going.
did feel like somebody sat on the bed at one point, but I can't verify that, you know. And
That's why I didn't sleep with her. I slept in the other room, but I was still scared out of my mind.
we only slept like 3 hours. But yeah, I always thought I fell off of it because my legs were dangling, and I thought, well, maybe my weight and everything, I just fell off the bed.
Well, and
But then most of my weight was on that end of the bed for the rest of the night, and come to think of it, and I didn't fall off.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and you don't really move in your sleep.
I don't
like,
really. I'm very
Your
much,
husband has even acclaimed to that. He's just like, no, she's not a very.
and when I do, it's a big move. Like I roll my whole body over. It's not like, and I'm usually like a little bit awake at that point. I don't.
You're
I'm
just
not,
like,
I don't toss
trying to
and
get
turn.
comfortable. It's not.
Yeah, I don't toss and turn very. I don't move my legs in weird positions.
It literally.
And if I do, I'm talking in my sleep. Like there's something else going on.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
And it took your leg and it just bam, and then it did the other one
And then it like crossed them,
over each other.
and then just and
It's
it wasn't
like it
until,
woke you up, but you weren't really awake, and then something got under you and was just like,
yeah. And it was dark footage at first. It wasn't until I went back in the editing process and I like lightened like the contrast or whatever that I really could almost see it's like my backbone. It's like imagine like you pick up somebody like a rag doll like this. You pick up like a doll and you just toss them. It was like my body contorted like that. It was ridiculous. I'm sorry to give
those
that
of
weird
you
angle.
in YouTube,
Oh, sorry, you guys didn't get to see it.
But
Like imagine like a cat's arched
Like-
back, like an arch, like I was not awake, like my head was down,
yeah,
and just tossed me off, and I
That's
didn't even
what
see
leads.
that until.
that's what leads us to that. And we wanted to touch a little bit on that because everyone's like, y'all didn't talk very long about that. Last time we were on a time crunch, we were out and about, we were trying to do a photo shoot.
Oh yeah, we were doing a lot of stuff.
The wind was hectic, it was bad. So now we're gonna actually talk about the part 3. That was part 2. Everything we just discussed was part 2. This is part 3, and people want to know, what was it like to walk around with each person? Like Connie, it was a different atmosphere. It was more historic. You know, we didn't really.
Right.
You know, she told us about haunted stuff too, but we really didn't catch anything haunted. It was like the hotel wanted her to tell the story.
Well, right, and it was more during the day. It was like the late afternoon, I would say, and it was really about the history. We walked around, and she was just kind of telling us the complete stories of everybody there, and that had ever come through, and it was so wonderful to get to hear that, all that different detail. Nothing really stuck out at that point, but some of the things that she had said about the hauntings that had occurred
We discovered
matched up with stuff that we had like talked about on video. Because what happened was when we first got there, we walked around for about a half an hour or so by ourselves just to get a lay of the land and things like that, and really to feel it out and maybe hear some things and kind of, because I mean I heard clicks, I heard this, and I mentioned a bunch of these things on camera, and then to come back to going on the interview and the walk around with Connie and to her tell us these things that I had just said had happened, and I didn't know any of those things were supposed to be happening. There were little things like clickings and things like that, and smells, and so I mean, it was interesting to hear her kind of back up some of the stuff I'd already been saying, and on top of that, walking around with Connie. Well, yeah, but walking around with Connie was interesting because she really has a passion for that place. You can tell that they really
she
do
loves
they love what they do, and she knows everything about that place, and she's so dedicated to getting all of the history that she can.
Oh, I can't wait to go back and see, because there were rooms that were not done up that I can't.
But they were still working on.
I'd love to go back and see. I want to go back.
And the jailhouse, they have that
Oh,
jailhouse
yeah.
across the street that we actually, I think in the first episode, the interview, we got some footage of it. They're gonna open that for tours and stuff eventually, and I would love to go back. Like,
yeah.
please let me come back to the jail.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, we need to address, people have asked why we haven't done anything else with Connie and Chris and Julie and anybody. We got invited back, but unfortunately, she got the Rona, so we couldn't go.
And then simultaneously, I get over it, and then she gets it, and we don't pass it to each other. We go.
No, we
without
were
seeing
not
each
doing,
other.
my husband caught it from his job, and I caught it from, or I didn't catch it, my husband caught it. And then the second time, we're pretty sure my son caught it from his daycare, and then passed it to both of us.
Well, and then I think I got it from the school.
Yeah, because she works as a substitute teacher.
Yeah, and then Cody got it from work, from a guy at work. Like, it just, we ended up simultaneously getting it, but we weren't giving
Like
it to
4
each
or
other.
5 times.
So that's why we haven't went back. We were trying to get better and also protect everyone else, because.
But believe us, the second that we get a chance to go back to the old Park Hotel or the jailhouse or anything else to do with that, we're going. The second we get an opportunity to go to Yorktown Memorial Hospital, we're going. Or Victoria's Black Swan Inn, we're going.
Or any of the stuff that we talked about on our haunted top 5.
Yeah.
We will go. It just, we kind of got hindered these last 2 years, and that's really why we haven't, season 2, we were excited that we actually get to start a season 2, because Jesus.
Yeah, it's been forever. We've literally been at this for, 2 years now?
Yeah.
Barely been able to put up anything. We're trying, people.
Yeah, well, and then when we want to do top 5s, what happens to me? I lose my voice.
Oh,
you
yeah,
lose your
you
voice.
did. I did.
We both lost our voices, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'll literally be like, I can't do a top 5 like this. But, okay, so the difference between walking with Connie, we just talked about that, but walking with Chris and Julie was a completely different atmosphere.
They were down for the experimentation. They
Yeah.
wanted to really be like, these are the hauntings that we've experienced here, and this is what we're gonna.
Well, and they
try to go for.
verified some of the stuff that, even during their walkthrough with them, they were verifying things like the spiders on the webs on my, I did that, and then the knuckle in your back,
Yeah.
which was happening to you and me at the same time. It's like somebody was messing
Yeah,
with both of us.
that was odd. It was like this deep, intense, almost burning pain right in the center there. It was like, hello, quit
Well, and
grabbing my skin.
I just felt like things were crawling up my legs. And Chris, while it was happening, said, "Oh yeah, we didn't know that.
No.
I didn't know to expect creepy crawlies going up my legs, because if I did, I wouldn't have gone in the room." Plain and simple. I would have been
Don't
like,
like the creepy crawlies.
no, spiders, snakes, no. But yeah, so, and then walking around alone. Part of the reason that one wasn't as long as people expected it to be is because one,
It was 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
we were tired, and also,
We drove in all day. It's like a 8-hour drive. We drove in all day, and then we actually had to turn around and drive back the
Because my
next
son
day
got
because
sick.
her son was sick, and we were like, well, we gotta go.
well, and then shortly after that, he ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, so we had to go right
yeah.
then, we didn't know he was gonna get sick. It just,
No,
he got sick, and it was like, well, we're moms, sorry.
I
Moms first.
felt really bad because we were supposed to meet some more people the
Yeah,
next
we were
day.
supposed to stay the next day and do another investigation with
But
another team,
We
but
couldn't, because again.
your son wound up in the hospital.
Oh,
Moms
yeah.
first.
Yeah,
We do this for us.
Yeah, he almost went septic.
Yeah.
That was when he was.
Yeah, he had a bladder infection.
Yeah, UTI. He
Oh.
was born with hypospadias.
Yeah.
Or spadia, one of the two. And it just means it didn't fully develop in
Yeah.
there, and so he's
got some
prone-
kidney issues.
He's prone
He's
to
sweet
get.
though, and he's healing.
Yeah, he's prone. They said while he was potty training, it would be a real issue, but once he was potty training, he learned to control his bladder. It'd be better, and it's knock on wood, any kind of wood. It has gotten better. So and when he starts to show symptoms, I get him probiotics. I make
Right.
him. I
It's
start
just hard
flushing.
because he's a baby.
But that was why we couldn't stay as long as we would like. And then our alone investigation, we were just tired. We really thought we would have the time to just like go the next day.
Yeah.
But we didn't. But it's okay because we ended up getting so much. And then our standalone cameras, it just,
I'm glad we left those standalone cameras.
to turn one night into 4 different parts.
Right.
Which I'm pretty sure when we smash it together, it's gonna be like a 2-hour premiere.
Yeah, because the thing is this was a huge opportunity, and we had one night. And we had about 12 hours of footage on one camera. So we really filmed a lot in one night, and we got a lot in one night. So I would love to go back. That was the inactive season too. Like that was the off season. Apparently there's an active season in that hotel. And I mean, I can't imagine what we would catch if we were to go back on an on season.
You were thrown. Let's maybe try different rooms.
As long as we don't stay in the yellow one. The double split yellow one where they say something horrific happened.
Oh, well,
Let's
and
not stay
it's
there.
also the one that they're like, that's iffy, even either you have a good experience or you
Yeah.
have a bad.
Or you have migraines for days.
Well, and
I just don't
I
want
was
to do
the
that.
one who was like made the comment like if it's gonna be the negative, then
I don't need that. Thank you.
yeah. Well, I mean, but there's also the room with the.
Rude.
There's also the room with the bells jingling that had the predator.
Oh, let's not stay in that one. Jeez.
I mean, we're kind of like running out of options.
You know what? The cowboy suite was fine. It was great.
I mean, nothing happened to me. I watched, because I have sleeping footage of me that we chose not to use because of the sound machine we were using.
We were just so tired. We were.
We didn't think about
We
it.
didn't even think about it.
We were like, turn the sound machine on.
I just want to sleep.
Matter of
For
fact,
3 hours.
we agreed that later on, once this is all out, we'll like release it, kind of like what we did with Big Woods, the raw footage, the
Yeah.
never before seen stuff that y'all can go through. We're not
It
gonna
just
claim
gets loud.
anything. We're not gonna claim anything from me sleeping.
Stupid.
It just, if you hear something, great, let us know. But we are not gonna claim because again, we had the sound machine on. The sheriff room. Everyone asked why we didn't stay long. It's because we were told from the very beginning the sheriff's room. We went in there for, even in the video, we went in there for 2 seconds and we're like, oh, you said, oh, you're the sheriff, and we're gonna leave you alone then.
Right.
Because like, he was known to like attack people.
Yeah.
So we were just
Him
like,
and Henry, right? The guy
Henry
that put
just didn't like.
Well,
women in
Henry put his fist in her back. That was
and
the
made the
same
creepy
room.
crawl. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just put
Does
like,
not like women in his shop.
the sheriff. He just was known to like that was physical, but like physically attack, like scratch marks and stuff. So I'm not up for being scratched. Anything.
She'll send me in the room.
I mean,
And I'll go.
well, and then I'll feel bad and I'll follow, and then when something happens to me, I'm like, ah.
You're not allowed to get out of eyesight. It's just the way it works.
I did one time, and I wasn't even.
I told her I
wasn't
would red rum her. Like I don't I don't play. You don't leave me alone in a haunted house. You ain't about do not turn a corner, do not get out of eyesight. The ghost done got you and I'm leaving. That's how it goes. I'm out.
I didn't even mean to. Like, I thought she was, but I was just taking pictures of each room and kind of like, oh, this would be a nice room to sleep. This was before I knew what happened in each room. Because, like, there's also those 2 rooms that you don't know are there.
Oh, yeah, the ones we were just talking about, the red room and whatnot.
It's kind of done in, like.
They were working girls.
Yeah, that word. Like, it
They
was
were
done
working
up.
girls, and it was
Because
like
every
red
room is
satin,
themed.
and the other one next to it was like the poker room, right? The one that had like
yeah.
stage poker.
Well, they said nothing really bad happened in that one. We can sleep in that
Well,
one.
but the door slam happened right next to that one, so I don't know if I really want to deal with that one either.
Well, what an option.
There's a haunted hotel. We're gonna stay in a haunted room, no matter what it is. It's a haunted
Yeah,
hotel.
we just have to decide what we want to allow happen.
Maybe they'll have a new one. We'll have all kinds of new hauntings. The non-delight on your face.
I would love to, don't get me wrong, I would love to go back. It's about picking which experience I'm willing to have and which one I'm not willing to have.
Yeah, she's really not. I don't want to be like offensive, but you're not as brave when it comes to the spirits
No,
as some people.
I think that's what makes our chemistry together
Yeah.
so much fun is because you're like, I don't believe you're here, and I'm like, I very much
Oh
believe
no,
you're here.
I just don't believe I'm really gonna see anything. I'm a doubter. I'm very much a.
And then when it happens, I'm like cursing you out.
Listen, danger strikes though, as in the what was it, the Fred one, where I was just like, I'm just like, we're leaving right now. We're gone.
Where else? Which one did I leave you behind? Say I left you behind. Did I?
No.
No, let's just hope that doesn't happen then, because like I think we've
You
discussed.
leave me behind, we might have problems.
I think we've discussed that I am the wimp that would start running and then remember my best friend and
Yeah,
be like,
if I start running, I'm gonna be dragging whoever's with me along.
Well, you did in Fred. I'm surprised I didn't
know.
die. That barbed wire.
Oh my god.
The
The next day, we like ran through the graveyard, right? Like just ran out, okay? Not even thinking about it. And the next day we went back, and like there was like a big like rebar like thing sticking out of the ground, like holes in the ground. Like how did we not break our necks running out of that cemetery? Like what?
And then let's discuss the fact that we felt safer in a church that didn't yell.
Yeah, like we're running away from something out in the open, so let's go into this teeny tiny dark building that doesn't have any power. Like sure, that's a better idea. it was an interesting experience
But
to get into it when we did.
3 doors, none of them locked, none of them closed.
There's
but
no
we feel
purple.
so much safer.
There was no purple spray paint or anything like that, or
Yeah.
no non-trespassing like things. We went around and filmed all that to make sure that we were not there like intrusively, you know.
It still beats me how we thought we were safe with it.
I don't know, like we are in a sitcom sometimes. Like, I swear.
Yeah, I still don't understand.
Like, remember when I fell on your aunt's porch?
I want to get the video of that because I.
You just see my hair just across the camera as I fall onto the
No,
floor.
and each time I am so focused on trying to power through. Like actually every time you fall, like Big Woods, there's a hole that you were sinking, and I just keep powering through the episode until I'm finally like, are you gonna survive this?
And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, ah. And then you ran across that dune and almost sank.
And that's the one time she wasn't coming after me. If I
I was like, you're in quicksand, dude. I'm gonna have to get a big stick to get you out, because we're gonna both die if I go in there. It's gonna be like, what, the never-ending story when his horse drowns? Like, they're both fighting for life here.
See, there's times where you'll save my sorry butt, and there's other times where you're like, I'm gonna go get someone who can save me.
Yeah, like, we're both going to drown if I come in there right now. Let me make a phone call. Like, hold on.
Oh gosh. Okay, so
I'm dumb, but I'm not delusional sometimes. I understand I can't save you.
what's bad is we put ourselves in situations like that.
Hey, somebody's got to be willing to. I mean, that's what we're here for.
All right. The bloody shoe room, furniture moving. Some people ask us for part 3, like when we're in it was the room that you're like, is this room really that active when we were with Chris?
With the purple,
the purple like
fabric on the
on
walls.
the walls, yes. And then the bloody shoe, which no one can explain, not even them. They have no idea. The shoe was just there, and then the next day there was blood on it. And she's like, okay.
But whose shoe? And why?
Well, they asked because we heard what sounded like furniture moving. It was a very dull, like, it was almost a bench.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
They asked if it could be Chris or Julie, but if I remember correctly, while we were upstairs doing our own stuff, they gave us privacy and they were downstairs.
Yeah, they were downstairs.
So I don't think our cameras would have registered something because they
would have had to have been making a significant amount of noise.
And
for
they're
us to hear
professional enough to know not to do that.
Well, and they knew that we were doing an investigation, and even when Chris walks by the camera at one point, he's like, this is Chris, it's the last time I'm gonna come by tonight, like things like that, because they knew that we were doing an investigation. They want as much evidence and factual
credibility.
Yeah, they want as
we
much
do.
as that as we do.
So I don't see them or if it had been, then he would have been like, hey, I'd stumbled and I bumped the couch if it was him. But he didn't say anything.
Right. And he didn't mention it in the morning or anything like
Well,
that.
and these episodes have been out for a while, and
then they would have said something.
yeah, they would have said, and then we would have corrected it on a live stream.
Right.
But so far, even with the bed stuff, he's just like, I thought you fell, and we're like,
he did. He messages like, I thought you fell.
So
off
like
the bed.
even to
So did
them,
I.
it looked, but we claimed it because that's just what we do. We want to be credible. So I don't see them sabotaging an investigation we're conducting by ourselves upstairs.
Right, especially when they knew that. It's like the whispers and stuff. Like, I don't see that happening with any of us, because we're definitely not going to do that, because we want as much credibility as possible. They know we're there for an investigation. That I'm pretty sure they would not mess with us like that. So as far as we can tell, those whispers and things like that, I mean, they're
as authentic
as we can get.
And the bench moving, I'm going to stand by that as being something that we can't explain. I do not feel like it was Chris or Julie, or even Connie, because every one of them was downstairs, and again, he knew what we were doing upstairs. All 3 of them knew what we were doing.
And we spoke in the morning. They would have mentioned it.
Yeah, they definitely would have said something.
Well, it's like when I fell off the bed. They all came running, because it was such a loud noise. Like, and I was like, I'm sorry.
And I automatically assumed she fell off the bed too. Like, it's almost.
It is not time to restart, computer. Shh. Wait an hour. I said wait an hour literally less than 40 minutes ago. I know because I've been recording since. Sorry, this computer sometimes.
But yeah, so that's how we feel about that. We're gonna stick to the benches moving and whispering. Another thing we're gonna, just trying to be very
Just don't
quiet.
notice it, just like the cats, let's just continue.
Okay, so another thing we're gonna talk about is the area in the hallway when we were doing our own investigation that felt degrees different.
Oh, okay, so Connie had mentioned something about that area being like a supernatural area. And we were walking around barefoot in the night because it's too hot to wear shoes, I'm being honest. And the floor was cool throughout the entire hotel. We were walking around, and just that one spot by the window was
Which
hot.
there was a mirror in
And
front of it too.
yeah, it was like a big dresser, like large wooden structure with a mirror on top of it that was completely blocking the window, just like this here. So,
You keep moving.
oh, I'm
out of-
sorry, I'm trying to show, like this here, like it was blocking the window, so it wouldn't have been like where, you know, you see, oh, the sun was just shining down on that spot all day, so it has a reason to be hot. It wasn't like that.
This
There
was
was
like
no reason for
3
it to be
o'clock
hot.
in the morning. This
Yeah.
is no sun was shining.
And the thing is the mirror had been, like,
the dresser,
the dresser and the mirror have been blocking the window all day. So it's not like that was even a possibility. And I think if I recall correctly, there was a building behind it. So it wasn't like it could have even gotten direct sunlight. Anyway, isn't there another building behind the hotel?
Yeah.
So it's not like it can even get direct sunlight all day to be that hot at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So
You know,
like,
and it was
that's
hot, like you step over a few steps and it was cool, and you step back toward that area and it was hot.
Now, we don't call it what they call it, we just find that we did have an
Well,
experience
I mean,
there.
they said it was some kind of portal, and we don't know, we can't verify that, but at the
But
same time,
we-
like, I can say that there's something weird that happens, that's there,
That,
because
you know, that's just what we
it-
felt, like, in
it
all
was
this,
hot.
I kind of felt staticky. Like,
Yeah, it had a different feel to it, so I don't know what's going on with that spot. But they
But I
had
did
some
feel
photographic
something.
evidence of things that they believe has happened, and it's pretty convincing. We didn't show that in our episode because that's
That's
theirs, and they love to show it off, and it's fantastic. You should definitely go to the hotel and get Connie to show you that picture.
yeah,
But
'cause it's pretty,
it's pretty intense.
but like,
But what we can say is that we did go over to that area, and the evidence that we were able to find was that it felt a little different, and the floor itself, just in like that spot, was hot, and not just like, oh, it's kind of warm. No, hot, like it had been, like as if the sun was on it right then, like a really hot day had just baked the wood all day.
yeah.
But that was not even a possibility. It couldn't have
3
happened.
o'clock at night, a dresser and a mirror in front of it, so even if the sun had been up, it could.
It
there was
couldn't
no-
have baked this, and it was we were standing in front of the dresser. It wasn't like we moved the dresser. We were standing in front of it. It wasn't like, it just wasn't a possibility that the sun at 3 o'clock in the morning was still making this area of the floor that hot. It just wasn't possible.
And it was almost like a barrier. It was only a section. You step forward,
Right.
it's hot. You step back, it feels fine.
Yeah, it feels like a normal floor.
Like I even did it a few times. I was like, this is weird.
It was very weird. So that is
So,
an
like-
unexplainable place in the hotel that we have no answers for, but we can say that there's definitely some weird stuff happening there.
And yeah, I can see where they get the portal.
Well,
One.
and-
I can
and-
see why they call it that. I'm not gonna call it that because like we didn't like it.
Well, we
other
can't
than-
verify that.
Yeah.
That's why we don't. We're not saying like, oh, that it's not that. No, we
No.
can't say one way or another.
I can just say I
That's
felt
what they
something.
think, though, and it's pretty compelling evidence that they have.
I can
that
see.
it
Why,
is,
I can
so.
see why I did feel something there. So
Yeah, for definite.
It was definitely worth it. You should go try it because it's pretty cool. Okay, so chair room, the chair room with you tipping back. There's a lot of controversy about that one. Mainly just because like it is an older chair.
It is, and so it did tend to rock. But the one thing is that it was very unstable. Like it wasn't a comfortable chair. It moved a lot. But at the same token, you get settled in it, and it's like suddenly it just starts to lean backwards. And you're like, okay, that's weird. That's weird. Because if you recall, they said that the guy that died in that room, that
He tipped me.
he without being too, he unalived himself and then fell back into the chair. And it was weird because it just suddenly, you have to be very, very careful how you speak. I'm just saying to trigger warning, that he unalived himself and he fell backwards in the chair. And it was weird because the chair like literally leaned back while I was sitting there. And it was wobbly, so I can't, maybe it was just the way it settled, you know, but I will say it was odd.
But from their history and what they caught, if it could have been that, but it could have been that. It was one of those things where we didn't catch anything on camera, like a figure doing it
Right.
to you. The K2 meters were going off.
Yes, I was about to say
So
that.
like, it's not that we didn't catch anything. It's
We just
that
didn't catch enough evidence to say that, like, that's definitely
yeah,
what
he
was
was
happening.
yanking her back.
But it was a little odd, and definitely worth a mention.
So I thought we'd get that. Okay, now we're on to the tub room. And the tub room is interesting because this was the room that this one right here taunted them.
I'm
and
a skeptic.
she was like, I'm not going to believe you're a spirit. And that's what was happening on camera. That's the video.
Yeah, in the video, I'm like, I'm not gonna believe that you're here if you don't like make it turn red because you're walking around with the K2 meters. And it never made it really go red. It made it go orange once or twice, and I was like, ha, you know. And
But when we got home, my GoPro, while I'm filming, it sporadically takes pictures, and I had thousands of pictures, and I stumbled upon those, and there was this blue hue light.
and we had the lights on our phones, but that was it. And we weren't shining them. There were no other
and
lights
from where
on.
it comes from,
And it changes position. It's not just like one set, like there's an area where we're over on this side of the room where we're by this bathtub, and then it's over here, and then it's up, and then there's 2 or 3 of them.
but we're still standing in the same spot, like,
Yeah.
because it takes pictures literally within seconds.
Yeah,
so
just
we're still
flapping
standing in that same spot, but that light is moving, and that was not.
Oh, and then we turn toward the door, and then the light is over here, and it's then 1, and then it's 2, and there were like 5 or 6 different pictures of that blue light. And so it followed us around the room. That was the room that I was saying, oh, I'm not gonna believe you're here if you don't say it, because I'm
Oh, I got
stupid.
home, I found it, and I was like, because I even went in the video and pinpointed what we were talking about
I know.
when it showed up, and that's what it was. It was literally her being like, I'm not gonna believe, and then I'm like,
Sometimes you have to lure the spirits out. I'm just saying, I did a good job. The spirits came out.
oh yeah,
We need one brave one in the group. We gotta have one of us that.
I'm always the one going, shut up.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm like, no, no, we came here to see spirits.
And then when it happens, I'm like, I told you so.
And then I'm like, let's go, let's run. You were right all along.
Yeah, then I'm the one angry because I was like, I'm right. This is happening, and I'm scared. I'm gonna pee my
But
pants.
then you're like, oh, this is great footage. This is great footage. Calling me all the whole time. You're editing. Like, oh my God, this part, you're not gonna believe it.
That's once I'm in the safety of my home and I'm watching it, and I'm just like,
I'm crying, dude.
this is amazing. And she's like, not while we were there. You were cursing me to the moon and back.
It's worth it. I just gotta push her out of her comfort zone.
She does a very good job of it too. Okay, so we're at the final part to that was the whistle room and the bells on the door and the footsteps.
That was the room with the predator.
Well, even after you say that, because you say that on film, there's right after you say that, I'm pretty sure that's when the whistle.
That is. And it was such a weird whistle because it was like, woo. Can't see that. There was a comment and I lost it.
I'm so sorry. If
Hold
y'all
on.
are commenting, it is so far from me that I can't see it.
I can't see any of the comments.
We're
I'm
not
sorry.
going to see the comments until after it's over. But we love you
We
all
love
for
you.
commenting.
Thank you for commenting.
And if it
We'll
is
get to it in the next live stream.
I say if it is a question, we will
Yes.
address it because we see you all, but I cannot read that far,
Yeah, we're both wearing glasses. We're a little blind.
which is ironically crazy.
Right?
I can't see that.
You're gonna get LASIK one day and be unstoppable. No, that it was like a train whistle almost, like a woo. It wasn't
Well,
even like a or anything like that. It was woo. It was weird.
Yeah. Well, and that's
And the
also the
bells
same
jingled
room.
too in that room.
Well, you okay? So at first, I started out standing up. We
Mhm.
were both standing up, and we hear footsteps. And some people are like, okay, well, could that have been her walking to the bed? No, because when you watch me walking to the bed, I am very careful not to make a sound.
Well, and at the same time, you sat on the bed and the footsteps kept
Kept
going.
going, even long after I was on
Yeah.
the bed.
So,
So-
I mean, that we don't really like say, oh, you know, every footstep is.
Well, and I was
That,
the one.
but-
I was the one who noticed the bells ringing because I was like,
Yeah.
the bells," and you were like, "What?"
And then you were like, come sit down. And then you sat down, and then the footsteps kept going, and then that.
And then the bells shortly after. The bells is actually what got us to leave the room. We were like, "Okay."
You were like, we're leaving. Get out of this room. This
Yep,
room
yeah.
is.
Because I was like, this is the door that leads to outside. That the
Oh
garden.
yeah.
That one of the ladies. You remember she
Oh yeah.
lived down into a garden. I don't know if
We
they
gotta
keep.
get out on the balconies the next time. We didn't go out. We didn't go out on any balcony.
No, we didn't. But I'm sitting here thinking this is coming from the girl who got thrown off the bed. What you want next? A balcony?
That just won't happen. Don't let me fall asleep on the balcony, okay?
Oh.
Oh.
I can't see.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Did you read it?
No, I didn't quite get to it.
You got there faster than me. I didn't even get up off the bench. Okay, so yeah, so we talked about. That's pretty much the conclusion of that episode because it was only like 13, 14 minutes.
What? You look deep.
I don't remember how long.
So it was like, it's not our, because again, we were so tired, we were just like, yep, we caught the bells, yep, we're good, we didn't even, we set up in the children's room because we knew we wanted to leave the camera alone. So like, we didn't really go in there and try anything because we wanted to see what our alone cameras caught, which is the next episode. We promise, we swear it's coming.
Yes, we got just bogged down, you know? We got bogged down by time, and I mean, you started your job with the school, and I've been trying to run my business. It's just a lot, you know, we
But
just
that
don't
one
have a lot
is
on our
by
plate.
far the best, like, I can't.
Well, and it's
believe it.
hard because you have to go back and there's not a lot of like visual action that happens. It's
just
mainly listening, but at the same time, there's such suspense because you're listening, and then suddenly these things happen, and it's just so, it's suspenseful. So it's not going to be a very long episode, but it's
It's
interesting.
about 20 to 30 minutes.
I don't think it's about 30 minutes after editing. I've got it
Yeah.
cut down at this point.
Yeah, it's probably about 15.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, it's still going to be interesting.
It's still like,
And by the way, we will get to your comments afterwards. I'm sorry, I just can't get up fast enough. I keep trying and I can't see them. I'm sorry.
yeah, well, I'll be sure to write them down like in our notes.
Yeah.
And be like, well, we gotta address that comment because we didn't.
Yeah, we're not trying to be rude. I just can't see them. I'm sorry.
But, yeah, so the children's room, that's what we call it. We call it part 4 of the children's room. That is coming out, and then we're gonna do what we call a smash together, where we take all the episodes that we release and we're gonna put it into one and then give it to you. So if you wanna watch it as a full episode, you can. It's gonna be what, maybe 2 hours long?
Yeah, it's going to be a long episode,
But
but we are
we're
going to put
gonna
out the
leave it-
entire thing.
I was
And we're
saying.
also going to do a recap of all the haunted footage from every episode that we've taken out,
Well,
and we're going to do a big recap.
to say the recap for the hotel is its own because there was so much.
Right.
But we are also gonna
We have a
do
season recap of every other episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that's separate. That'll be a separate thing coming up. But for the hotel specifically, we're going to go through and make a
One
recap for
recap.
it because there's just so much that went on.
In the 4 episodes that we, 4 episodes that we did. Yeah.
How many ever episodes did we get to?
We're gonna release it like that, and then we are starting season 2. It's been a little muggy, so we kind of had to put it on hold.
Yeah,
for
we're
a
in the
little bit.
hurricane season down here. We got to
So
get
we gotta-
through the rainy season.
Well,
and
if
then-
it's not a building per se, like, our cemeteries have been put on hold.
Because it's just muddy. And I mean, we love the cemeteries.
It went away.
I was reading it and it's gone now. Quit, I mean, I can't.
Oh,
I feel like such a failure because I can't read the comments.
we're both wearing glasses. Well, it's too far.
I can't see it.
It's too
I'm
far.
squinting through my glass.
But we are trying to film season 2. We got a bunch of photos that we just released. It's kind of like a little tease because we don't tell you where we're at. But I love the photos of you and me at the water.
Oh yeah, we did. We've done some traveling so far. We've scouted out a few places we're super excited about. There are 1 or 2 really fun places we're hoping to get into this season. It's just finding time, really.
So So we're trying to get through this haunted season and finish up this one, and then we are starting the second one. It's taking longer than we expected, but at the same time, we're confident we're gonna get it. We're gonna get to do it. There will be a season 2 of Gals and Ghosts. Whether you get it next year or the year after is yet to be seen, but you will get a season 2 of Gals and Ghosts.
Right. We're working on it. We're just moms. And to be fair, our kids were really little, and they only recently have gotten to a point where it's like, okay, you're cool, you're good, all right. You know, like.
Well, I'm finally to a point where my husband's not calling me every 5 minutes. What do I do? He's got a poopy.
Yeah, it's like we're both out of
Change
diapers.
it.
We're both out of diapers now. High five. We're both, not us, out of diapers.
Our children.
We don't have to change diapers anymore. Is what I was
Yeah,
trying
it's like I
to
literally,
say.
every time he'd be like, what do I do? He's got diarrhea. And I'm like, change him.
Yeah.
The
It's like
obvious.
the wipies are on the couch.
It's fine. But we're finally past that point. And my daughter she's turning 10, so she's old enough to where she'd be like, Dad, you have to do homework with me. So like, I'm pretty confident we're going to get out more because again, our kids, when we started this, our kids were like really small.
Yeah, I had just had a baby. But my son is 4, okay?
Yeah.
We started this 2 years ago. Oh, a little over 2, 3 years ago. Yeah, almost.
2 years.
We're at 2.5 years. Yeah, you're right.
Like they say,
Yeah.
like we started Gals and Ghosts
So June to
a year
July,
before.
August, September. So we're looking at almost a year and a half at this point, a year and a quarter. So,
I was
I mean,
say, maybe even
or
longer.
2 and a quarter. I'm sorry, 2
Well,
and a
because
quarter.
we started it, but we didn't put anything out because we had to.
No, we
spend a whole-
started in June though.
Yeah.
Started in June of 2020.
And then we had to
So-
do a whole year filming, and then we released in
Yeah.
2021.
So we're at like 2 and a quarter years
Yeah,
that
we're
we've been
almost-
working at this. And it's difficult, but I mean, again, my son
It's
was
worth it.
literally a year and a half. How old was Robbie? I mean,
He
was
just
barely
turned
2
5.
or something.
Yeah, so like
he was. Yeah, he was barely 2 at that point.
Yeah, because we were still having the bladder issues.
Yeah. So we just it's taken a lot to get up to where we are being able to film like we want to.
But we are gonna film and we are gonna make merch. And during the off season, I plan to like release raw footage. We plan to release raw footage. It's on my computer, and I just have to.
Yeah, it's whichever one of us has the recording at the time.
So like
I do the editing, but if it's raw, it's on her computer because she does all the first round editing. She
Yeah,
does
so
all the watch all the everything and sit there and listen to everything, and she cuts it out and gives me the important stuff.
yeah, so we'll release the raw stuff, and then we'll even do bloopers because we have.
2019, somebody just said we started at 2000.
Oh,
We're
love
a year behind.
Woo!
Sorry, thank you. I saw that comment.
Somebody actually was like, no.
No, wait. You were May 2019. I'm like, oh, excuse me. I was a year behind. I apologize.
Oh, this is taking us much longer than I'm completely floored that someone's like, no, I'm gonna go look this up. How
So
long can
Molly was like a year. Like, oh my god.
Robert was 2. 1, 2. Yeah.
No wonder.
But we
we're
are
both getting
going
there.
to do season 2. We are going to make merch.
We're already filming. We're actually planning to do some. Should we be able to? We're planning to do some local marketing events with around the area because we're also looking to get more places. If you have any ideas, we're gonna have like a big. We don't know where yet, but we're working on getting out to like different festivals and stuff this year, and like getting a booth and like having a big suggestion jar and just like if you have any
Yeah,
haunted
we would
suggestion places, drop it in and see how many people really interact with us. And sell some merch and whatnot, and really just try to interact with our communities.
Yeah, because we want to be doing more. We got hindered, but we're back and we're ready, and we have overcome pretty much any obstacle that has come our way, and we look forward to keep doing it. I don't want to stop.
No, it's something that I really like doing, and it's a
And
lot
I
of fun.
get to
It's just
know
hard
one of
to.
my best friends.
It's just hard with the corona and everything. It was hard to get out and be able to leave together, be able to actually get together. You know, we had so many stipulations where we had to stay away from each other. You have to be symptom free for 5 days. You have to be symptom free for a whole day. You have to be
Well,
symptom
and
free. You have
then
to
it
be
doesn't help
14
that
days.
despite doing this, neither one of us are actually that tech savvy.
No.
Like everyone's like, why don't y'all do the thing where you film on this and you're on this and you do like stuff together, and I don't know how to do that.
I I always think to myself, back to the episode of Forest Lawn, our Forest Lawn investigation, that one footage where I'm filming myself walking and I literally look like Kermit, like I'm just walking like, and I don't know why, it's the way I was holding the camera, the way my head is just bobbing up and down, and it's like, why? I look like a Muppet, like I'm loping like a frog right now. And it's the worst, and I didn't realize I was filming it that way until after, because we're our own cameramans, you know?
You
So
gotta
like,
think, I've got that footage of Big Woods where like I'm pointed at my feet and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I'm like, and I'm just like, I'm like moving the camera everywhere and
God, I
I'm
remember in
talking
Saratoga,
with
there's
my
footage
hands.
where like you, I don't know if we had the camera flipped the wrong way or what was happening, but we're supposed to be filming the road, and it was just filming our laps, and I don't know what was happening.
You get one where it's just my chest.
Yeah, or it's like it's the radio.
I
It's
have
like,
to
why?
I have to go through and find like her camera and maybe take the audio from mine because mine might be better and put it
Right. That's something we have to do a lot, or we have to match up which audio is better for the video, because we're both filming the video, but it's from different angles. Because sometimes the audio is crap on one camera. We picked up the exact same thing on this camera. Editing takes a lot of work. Like, if y'all are thinking, oh, a YouTube channel is easy, it's not. It ain't easy.
No, and then when we think we have something perfect, we go back and we watch it. We're like, we could have done that a little better. But we're learning.
I remember one top 5. I got so proud of myself though. I did the whole top 5 and I finished it really late at night. And then I watched it the next day and I realized, what did I do with the numbers here? There's like this weird background on just one of them. It was like green under the number 3, and I'm like, how did I do that? How did I do that? Because I like that, but I don't know what I did.
Oh,
So I can do
speaking
it to the rest of them.
Speaking of going back and watching, you made a spelling error in one of our episodes for the hotel that I did not catch until like a week ago when I was
What did I
watching.
spell wrong?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I wrote it down in one of my books.
Was it Bollinger? Because sometimes
No,
I spell
it-
that name
it
wrong. I
was-
do, and I'm sorry.
It was like ghost or something. No.
No, it could not have been ghost.
No, it's a word. It's in the episode. Not even.
Now I'm gonna have to go watch it. Which one was it?
I don't know. I'm so mad at myself. I should have wrote it in this, but I
Yeah,
didn't.
you're gonna have to text me later, because now I'm gonna
Well,
need to
because
know.
it's. I'm like, did you? I watch it and I'm like, that read. It's in the text. Like, it's a black screen with the
I
text.
finish these at like 11 o'clock at night sometimes, guys.
And I sit there. I'm like, these people probably think we're idiots. Because like we always say how we don't understand how YouTubers don't catch those mistakes, but here we are doing this.
Well, you know, at some point, like sometimes the way that we
You
pronounce
watch it
things,
so much though.
like I go over, yeah, but I've watched it 30 times. So a lot of the time what we do now is I upload it on private, and I'm like, watch it, tell me if it's right, and then you tell me it's right, and then we upload it.
Well, and then when I
So-
find something wrong with it, I'm like, well, I was the one who
We
okayed
gotta
this.
get a better a process editor, I guess, somebody to review our.
Well, because I'm just so excited it's out. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, that's perfect. And
You're like,
then
it's great, I love it. And it's like, oh crap.
That's what I did when I was watching this. I was like, we spelled that. And I can't say she spelled that wrong because my Agnes didn't catch it either.
Yeah, we have a checks and balance system, but ain't just me.
I missed it too. It's actually really funny. You should go watch the episode. I don't know which one it is. You know what?
Just go watch all of them.
Because there's a spelling error. And
We do not do spells just on
No.
camera for any. We do not.
no,
That's not what our Gals and Ghosts channel is
but
about.
like it's a.
Mainly because we don't know any. No.
Oh gosh, I feel like we're just goofballs. We're just goofballs.
That's our whole personality.
I don't feel like anybody could ever go with us because they would not be able to stop laughing long
Oh
enough.
no, we're definitely a riot. Our investigations are serious when they need to be, but otherwise we're just having a good. We're here for us. We're just having a good time.
And then when the scary stuff happens, we're legitimately shocked and afraid. And
Yeah, we go into it looking to have a good time, looking to have fun, and then it gets creepy, and then it's like ah, and that's how our investigations go.
that's our personality. We've known each other for 16, 14, 15, somewhere along.
Yeah, this is why we do this.
Oh, we get along so great, and we're so polar opposites, but not. Like, you're the brave one, I'm the chicken.
Well, I don't know. You're not exactly chicken, but you definitely.
That was my cat.
That was a cat. You're definitely more of a like I'm a run through the fire kind of person. You You know
No,
what I
I'm
mean?
not.
You're a leap over the fire, or like you're around it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not
Like
going
you're
through
not
that.
going through the fire. You'll get around it and get to whatever's on the other side. But
I'll get there.
you'll get there. But you're not
It
gonna run
might-
through the fire.
It might be an alternate route. It might take
Like,
me a
there
little
needs
longer
to,
than
like-
everybody else,
There
but
needs
I'll
to
get
be
there.
like a small child or something in there for you to go through the fire. Like, and that's okay.
Ah, we say that, but if we ever go to what's the states that have the skin crawl or whatever thing?
Oh, the skinwalkers?
Yeah.
You have like the Appalachians?
Yeah, 'cause like I feel like that's my weak link. I'd hear a baby cry and you'd be the one going, no, there's no baby
Yeah,
out
we
there.
talk about this all the time actually, that if we ever got the chance to go up to like the Appalachians or things like that, where you have
Legends of skin
legends of
crawling.
things that are not just ghosts, you know, we're not going at, if we hear a baby crying, we're calling the cops, that's what we're doing. We're not going after it, and you're gonna have to stop me too. And it's like, as if it's an animal crying, we're
My-
gonna have to
well,
call the authorities.
My
I'm not
biggest
going.
fear is not that it would use a baby, but that it would use you.
Yeah, but if you, I'm gonna be right next to you. This is why you
But
don't
if you have
separate.
to
'Cause
pee,
What? If I have to pee, we're both women. Just turn around.
you're going in the bathroom with me, damn it.
Women go in packs. What is she, what?
Well, I mean, like, wait, you're taking a shower? The logic.
If
of
we're
the-
ever taking a shower out in the forest, just out in the forest, just I'm showering in Mother Nature, we've got bigger problems than.
I mean, like, if we're in a room and you're showering and I
Okay,
can-
but like if we're in a room, a skinwalker's not going to get to you in the room, because if it's calling to you from outside, I'm obviously in the shower.
you make a good.
Okay. We have this discussion a lot. This is not.
Ah.
This is not a. It's like, girl, we're not. This is why you don't separate. Because if some demonic thing is going to call for you on the other side, using my name or my
Your
voice.
voice.
I saw a video the other day. One guy, his own voice called him from the other room, and he was like, "Come here, come here. I gotta tell you something." And I'm like, "That's the moment I check out. I'm done. We're selling the house. Burn it down."
I feel like what's going to happen is you're going to be standing in a room, too scared to move, and I'm actually going to physically be calling you because I'm too scared to move. So we're going to be standing there going, 2.0.
At that
Haley?"
point, we have to just both turn around and just be like, "Where are you? Was that you?"
I just feel like we're going to be rooted to the spot going, I'm so scared to move.
Yeah, I do worry about those areas. I don't deal with demons. Okay, it's just one thing. If it's a demon,
I barely
don't-
deal with ghosts.
Like it's okay though, because ghosts are dead. Ghosts are dead. Like the power that they get is just from your fear. They're dead. You know.
They get a lot from me.
Well, but you're very scared of them. For me, I'm very much like, hey man, back up. You're dead. You know, like you can't touch me. You're dead.
But a demon?
But a demon is not exactly a ghost. It's an entity all its own. And you don't always, you know, I'm not saying I've ever like seen a demon or something, but you know, at the same time, like I don't want to. Should that exist out in the ether, I would rather not mess with demons. I'm just saying.
It's my same take on aliens. And I don't look up, they don't come down, we're good.
I do look up. I do look up.
I'm always afraid of what I'm gonna see.
I'm really fascinated by the whole alien trope, but that's a different thing for me. That's not
I believe in
supernatural. That's not supernatural to me. That's actually scientific.
That's something
because
we just don't understand.
yeah, because like there's so much. Even like the government has said like, nah, aliens are totally real. Like NASA's like, no, we'll have proof of alien life by 2030. Like yeah, like believing in aliens is no longer crazy. Let's just all be and like they say, you know, there's over what 4 million sightings of UFOs a year. Like in any court of law, 4 million witnesses would be enough to prove your case.
I got asked one day, working for the school, if I would teach science. And I started laughing. I said, I ain't gonna teach science because we don't even know science. Like humans, the
Yeah.
ocean, the bottom of the ocean floor that we thought was the bottom,
Is apparently fish.
it moved. So we don't even know where the hell the end of the ocean is. So no, I am not going to teach a subject.
Yeah, they don't want me teaching science because I'm going to go off the rabbit holes and be like, listen, that is what we think, but what they think now or what's been out there is this crazy thing
I
that
was like,
might
you
be.
would be into like mermaids and
Like we can't say mermaids aren't real scientifically because well we don't know. The ocean is so unexplored. And what if mermaids don't look anything like we think they're going to look like? What if they're terrifying or what if they're the size of whales? Like let's just all be honest. The floor of the ocean is fish. the mermaids might be under that.
Who knows?
We don't have any answers.
That answer to the will you teach science? No. I'll teach history.
I mean, I will, but you don't want me to.
I'll teach history, things that have happened, but don't ask me to teach science because then they gonna fail every test because they're gonna be like, but Miss Russell said. Yeah.
They can fail all of their actual aptitude tests. They're passing in my class though. They failed the state test. They're passing my class.
Because science is
Teach
just,
theoretical
as
science.
humans, we don't understand ourselves. Like we think we do. Like a black hole. We thought we understood a black hole and then it shot out light.
Well, it's doing something. I don't know. There's all kinds of things we're discovering nowadays that we just don't understand. And that's what we like about this, is there's so much about ghost hunting and spirituality and paranormal that you just don't understand. That these things that happen that you just literally can't explain.
Well, I mean, it's not the same thing over and over. Different places warrant different experiences.
Yes.
So this field is never boring.
No, and like I said, I always go into it thinking nothing's gonna happen. Everything's gonna be just kosher. Nothing's gonna happen. And then all these crazy things happen. It's like when I watched the house investigation. I always go back to that. When I watched the house investigation, every time you give me footage, I think, well, it's gonna be, I'll be able to explain it, or I'll be able to amplify it and find out what the real thing is.
Children's room too.
And so I think to myself, but during the house investigation, specifically when the camera, when there's nobody in the house, there's no pets, there's no nothing, my laptop is sitting there, and it's like suddenly just something comes along and grabs the back of it and just shook the laptop, and like just shook it, and then the shadows went crazy, and then just suddenly it was fine. And that freaked me out to my core. And then also the growl. Because to hear that, there's no animals in that house, there's nobody's home, nothing's happening.
I have the raw footage that I am going to be releasing, and nobody is there. Everyone's like, oh, well, could it have been them sleeping? No, we didn't film them sleeping.
And it was like the clicking clacking of like if
Claws.
they had a dog or something, like the clicking clacking of little but dog claw sounds on the ground. And then that low guttural growl. And then the camera blurred. And then it just stayed blurred all night.
Yeah.
That moment, literally, it's like chills, man. Because when you go in not expecting anything to happen, and then you see something like that, it really just goes, whoa, man. I can't say 100% that was a ghost. That kind of felt more like a demon to me. But I don't mess with demons. I don't mess with demons. But at the same time, like, that's something I can't explain. And that it really, I'm a little hungry. I apologize. That was my stomach.
I am too.
Yeah, we better have to cut this off because I'm about to have to eat something.
Oh, someone said I'm a pretty good mediator. Oh, we'd love to work with mediators in the future.
You say moderator or mediator?
I don't know. I could have read it wrong because I can't see.
We can't see them. We're going to read all the comments
I
afterwards.
swear we're going to read it. Oh, on that note, I think we should call this.
Did we get everything?
Did we?
Did we miss anything on our checklist?
Nope. I mean, thanks. Well, thank you for your support and your patience, because we know that we can be a little erratic. My husband's coming out of the room. I just wish he'd stayed there for 2 more minutes. But
they would have thought it was the cats. Why do you notice?
Oh, but no, we love you. We thank you for your support. We promise we're still doing, we're still working, we're still getting out there. Merch to come. If you do want what we have, because we do have a shirt, and I'm getting the season finale shirt ready too.
Yeah, if y'all are interested in seeing some of our merchandise, our shirts and things like that, maybe we'll do a modeling TikTok. We'll show off some of our shirts, do all
We gotta
that.
get back into the website, because we actually have a website.
We have a website, mainly for sources and scripts.
Yeah, but like
So you can see exactly what we see and what we're doing and where we got everything.
They say, what I'll do is I'll take a picture of the shirt that we have out and I'll post it to Facebook. And if you want,
Yeah.
Right now we're still trying to figure out how we're gonna sell merch. We have a website, but like it's been a while. We mainly get on Facebook though. Like most of our stuff.
Yeah, most of our exposure is on Facebook, but at the same time, we do post all of our videos to YouTube. That's where every one of them goes. We should start posting them to Facebook too,
Yeah, we will.
because now that they have the Facebook Watch,
Someone said I'm buying that merch.
sweet.
Thank you.
Love it, thank you. We have more shirts coming out. We have a season finale shirt that's gonna come out. We actually have commissioned a design that we're gonna be, from a local artist, that she made up like a really cool design that we're
yes.
planning on,
She like
getting
drew
for
us in
trademarking
cartoon
soon.
form. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I
We just haven't been able, cause, you know, pandemic.
I can't say that far.
That's true, we should do that.
Yes.
They said to add a link, to the merch in our description. Once we get the merch on the site, we will. We're
not that tech savvy. We're really bad at this. Oh, someone come help.
You know, I'm better at the tech than my husband though, because for some reason, I don't understand why. I tell him to go look up this video on YouTube, and he goes to Google, and he looks it up on Google, and then it doesn't bring up the video for YouTube. And I'm like, why don't you just go to YouTube and look it up on YouTube? And he's like, that takes longer. No, it sure does not. Or like, we're on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, just go to my profile. And instead of going over here where you can see my face, because I'm his wife, he like has to search for my name, and I don't understand why.
Well, and then you have my husband who is tech savvy. He's just like, well, why didn't you do this? Well, why didn't you say something sooner?
Yeah, like,
I can build a computer. I can take apart an Xbox. Just like, help me.
Yeah, like,
No,
I didn't know I could do it.
he showed me that I can fade. I can't amplify videos. So the only thing I can't do,
I told you we had more on that editor.
yeah, he's just like, well, why
We'll get
didn't you just do this? And I'm like, cause I didn't know I could. I'm sorry.
It says it's gonna be funny when we go back and read chat history.
Oh.
But it is.
Probably. But on that note, I think we really are going to leave y'all this time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to our YouTube and hit subscribe. Go to our TikTok. Follow us on TikTok at Gals and Ghosts.
It is both Gals and Ghosts. There are 2 Gals and Ghosts TikToks. Those are both us. I'm old. I just ignore that. Just follow both.
Yeah, follow both. But go find us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
You can also find us both individually on TikTok. Mine is Life with Kaylee, OOO, and hers is Home Life with 2.0.
Which is a different channel. Like I do stuff at home with my family.
Yep,
So-
but individually, you can find us both.
We're
under
both
those
video
monikers as
gamers, so
well.
like we do a lot.
We each have YouTube channels too.
Yeah. So be sure to go find all of those. We love.
My stomach hurts.
I know. We love all of you. I have got to get Kaylee out of here.
I gotta eat, y'all.
So thanks for watching. I love you all.
We love y'all, and we'll see y'all soon.
Yes.
End live.
Oh, I don't know how to end it.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.